astrology was here for 1,000 years, and this is based on the idea that the position of the planets is influencing our life and also our career life. Crazy, right? So by using the tools like dashas, vargas and yogas, which are the relationship between the planets, the astrologer can provide the insights about the unique strengths and weaknesses, and also about the potentials. And also we know that this knowledge can be incredibly valuable for people who want to find the right career for themselves. And in today's competitive market, it may be challenging to stand out from the crowd and find the best job which fits with our values, the passions and skills. However, with the help of Vedic astrology, you can get insights into what type of work will be the most fulfilling and how to increase the chances for you to land the dream job. So in this tutorial, we'll be talking about the karakas, and especially here the moon, which is showing society, because we are getting the job from the society. So we'll be talking about 10th from moon, and then also we'll be discussing the Arudha Lagna, which is the point of manifestation, and also the additional chart, which are very helpful for this, the chart of fortune Navamsha, and also the chart of career life, which is the Dashamsa. So the first very important point to discuss is where I can find the best possibility, where is my job. In the chart we have points which are showing the long distance, and these are normally the movable sign, and also the houses, these are 9th, 12th, and the point which is called Badaka. So if your point of career, the point where you can find a job, we'll discuss where is that point, is related to these points, then we can say that you can find your fortune abroad. And this point here is 10 from the moon, especially the Lord. So for example, in my case, 10th Lord from the moon is Venus, and it's an immovable sign in Libra. So for me, I can find my job abroad. Therefore, I moved in 2011 to Germany, and the strongest planet is Saturn, exalted Vargotam, which is west. So this is west direction from my place. So therefore, that would be the best place for me. And similarly, you can see this point in your chart, and if this is related to movable sign, to the Badaka or the Rahu or 9, 12, or sometimes even the 8, then this means that there is a better fortune for you abroad. And this is specifically from the perspective of career life. Also, if you read Sharavali, the Kalyana Virma, the author, says that if Mars is related to 10th from moon, then also this supports the fortune or career life abroad. So for this very interesting cases of Heinrich Blücher, in his chart he has Aquarius Lagna, and 10th from his moon is the Taurus, and the Lord is Venus, and this Venus is with the Rahu, and also this Venus is Badaka. And this is very important point for him, because when Rahu started in Rahu Dasha, he moved from Germany to New York with the spouse. So the Venus is here showing the spouse. Especially we have the relation to the Jupiter, the Lord of Upapada, and we know that her spouse, the famous Hannah Arendt, she was Pisces Lagna. And this 10 from the moon, which was Venus in this case, is between Sun and Saturn. So this is the curse. The Saturn intent is showing the government, also the boss, and the Sun is also the Karaka for government. So this is like a possibility for job is like squeezed. And also in the Navamsha we see 10 in the 12. So he is threatened to death because of his job. 10th Lord as a philosopher. 10th Lord is with the Jupiter in the 12th house. So basically he had the left-leaning views, so he was basically chased by the Nazi regime, and he had to move to the New York. And we can see that there is the parivartana between Venus and Jupiter. So Jupiter here is also the Lord of the Upapada in the Venus sign, so we have this Jupiter and Venus, so he is moving abroad with Hannah Arendt, with her spouse, 1 year after marriage to the New York, when he then started to being a teacher in 1952 in the university. So we see that Arudha Lagna is with the Jupiter, Upapada is also with the Jupiter, so his spouse was also very much a thinker, right? She wrote many books and she's very highly regarded in philosophy. and therefore we see that this chart reflects the situation very nicely. In this case, although it's in the dual sign, because the Sagittarius is dual sign, it is very much related to the points of foreign countries. This is the Rahu, is joining the Rahu, and it happened in Rahu just at the beginning of Rahu Dasha, and this is related to the Badaka sign. For Aquarius, the Badaka sign is Libra. So for all fixed signs, it's always the 9th house. For Aquarius, the 9th is Libra. So Venus is the lord of Badaka. It's called Badakesha. So if your point of career life is related to these points, then also it shows the fortune abroad. It is better for you to look for the opportunities outside of your birth country. Of course, also the important point would be the checking the 1st and 4th, and also the position of the Arudha Lagna, because the 1st, if you have malefics in the 1st or 4th house, then it can show that you may not have the best situation, or you are basically not happy in your birth country. But the 10th from moon is specifically important from the perspective of a job. Also the 9th lord, this will show fortune, and we know that if the 9th lord is in 12, the texts are also saying that you may also find your opportunities abroad. Many people are just using 10th house from the ascendant, and this point is also very important, but this is more showing how you work, and this is very useful to trace some patterns you may have in your work. For example, we know that the fiery planets are very welcome there because you are having high stamina, you can work a lot. The danger of workaholism maybe is there. But for example, if there is the Vayu Grahas, the planets of air like Saturn or Rahu, if they are related to the 10th house, this may show that you are not very adaptive, you are not flexible. You can just be focused on one direction. You may then miss many opportunities. Like, especially in business, we say that those who will not adapt to the new situation, new innovation, like for example, we have now the use of artificial intelligence, and if you are just against that, then businesses which are not very adaptive, which are not very flexible, may also suffer, and also single entrepreneurs. And therefore, if you have Rahu or Saturn related to the 10th house, then you need to compensate for this weakness you have in the chart. And we also know if you have Venus or Moon in the 10th house, you may treat work as a family. Venus is for fun and traveling. If you have Venus in 10, it's very good to have career life related to traveling. Then it's a very fulfilling job for you, especially if it's movable sign. And Mercury also needs a lot of fun. My Guruji says that if you have Mercury in 4th, you only can work for 4 hours max. Okay guys, if you like this video so far, please don't forget to click the thumbs up. It helps me with the algorithm to make this video more visible on this platform. And also subscribe if you like to be notified about similar videos in the future. And now let's go back to this analysis. So based on the planets in the 10th house, it shows how you work, and you may trace various patterns. You may try to compensate to change or work on them. And yeah, you can really unpack a lot of psychological things related to position of the 10th lord. Interesting thing is that, as usual in Vedic astrology, every position can be seen from psychological point of view, but also from karmic point of view. So we know that if the 10th lord or 10th house are related to the Dushtana, then this may provoke some financial losses. So if you are in the Dasha, for example, recently I was going through a chart that was Leo Lagna, and 10th lord Venus was in 8th house with the Rahu. And exactly in the Rahu Antardasha, person had a lot of losses in the business, right? In the hotel business. So 10th lord in the 8th. Also the Dushtana lord related to the 8th. And also for moon at Makaraka, or if the moon is in the curse in the chart, then also there is this danger of treating others like a family. The same situation is with the 6th lord in the Lagna, and you may not get this emotion in return. So this may make you confused, and also the other people are confused. So this is also showing one such pattern which you may try to correct in your life. So when we are talking about challenges related to people, we cannot forget about the 5th house, because generally in the Rashi chart, 5th house is all about people in our work. So if you have, for example, some malefics in the 5th house, then this can create for you challenges when it comes to people whom you are working with. So for example, if you have Dushtana lords related, or Saturn related to the 10th house, then be aware of, be careful about the general company, right? If you have Mars in 10, your company may go often bankrupt. If it's related to the 5th house, be careful about the people in the work. And if you have those Dushan Lord or Saturn in the 1st house, then it may show that you may want to resign from something, right? Recently I was seeing some biography and the person has Lagna Lord in 8 with the Mars and the Sun. And even in that biography in Wikipedia, it was a lot of sentences like the person just dropped this project, person didn't want to continue, he wanted to change something, he wanted to go to other ventures. So the person is resigning. Whenever the dasha of that planet is coming, the person wants to end this, resign, go away. Now when we are going to the what of the career life, so where you can work and matters of what you can do, then definitely one of the greatest tools would be Arudha, because with the Arudha you can exclude whole clusters or whole groups of jobs which will be in that group of the planet. For example, if you don't have Venus related to the Arudha then or Mercury, then it may not be the best idea to work in entertainment. If you don't have Moon, then food or medicine centered work is not the best idea, because all the jobs in the sector of the Moon are controlled by that planet. So if they are not related to Arudha, then you don't have, we could say, the fortune to work in that sector. If you don't have Mars related to Arudha Lagna, then all the technical or security related jobs, all the things related to IT, they are not there. So if you have, for example, Mars in 12 from Arudha, if you will be start working in such ventures, then you may incur a lot of losses. So for example, in this Heinrich Blimscher chart, we can see that he has Jupiter in the Arudha Lagna, he has Jupiter related to the 10th house in the Navamsha, and he has Jupiter in the related to the 6th lord in the Dashamsa and in the 7th house of business in the Dashamsa. So this one planet is occupying all the important positions related to the work, and this is Jupiter, which is showing philosophy or being some kind of thinker. Sometimes, not always, you will get jobs related to your abilities. So if you have those jobs like music or art, then it would be nice if, or poetry, writing, then, for example, for writing, it's good to have benefics in Trikona to Navamsha Lagna. For any technical jobs, it's Mars, and for artistic jobs, Mercury and Venus. So if they are related, if they are based heavily on art or on your skill, then these planets which are giving you money should somehow also be influenced by the Navamsha Trikona, so they should be placed in the 1st, 5th or 9th in the Navamsha. And then of course big question if I should be employed for this. See, Mercury and Saturn in the Dashamsa, compare 6th house versus 7th house in the Dashamsa. There are a few other options in the Rashi to check, but in the Dashamsa that could be the final thing. If the 6th house is very strong and beneficial, it's better to be employed. If it's 7th house, then it's good to have your own business. And also the position of Lagna Lord is very important, because the ascendant Lord, Lagna is ascendant, in the Dashamsa is showing your preferences. So the position of planet is always the circumstances, is like a feng shui or the vastu of things in your life, but what you want is always the Lagna Lord, the ascendant Lord. And of course we always have the Venus versus Sun. So Venus is more for private sector and Sun will show all the jobs related to the government sector. So also you can choose there. For example, my father was teaching the engineering in the state-sponsored situation, government-controlled environment, which was the type of university, right? And so for him, the Sun is giving that. If a private sector is better option, then you need to see the Venus. So Venus or Sun, this is also the way how to answer this question. And then of course the big question would be when. So for this we already answered, 10th house from the Moon, it shows something important is happening. And then you need to open the Dashamsa to understand what's going on. Is it the end of job? Then 3rd or 8th will be influenced. Is it maybe the promotion or a new job? Then the 5th house will be there. Sometimes one planet is giving you an end job and a new job. So these people are not waiting for a long time after ending the job. They are jumping from one to the another. For example, the Aquarius ascendant in the Dashamsa. Mercury is 8th lord and the 5th lord. So when the Mercury Dasha is coming, then you know that person may end one job and jump to the another or just get a promotion. Of course, very important thing, if you have challenges after the job or in getting the job. So some people, they have troubles to get the job. So then in the 12th from Mercury, you have issues. For example, in that Heinrich-Blümscher chart, he had the Sun in Maranakarkastana, which was giving the problem to his 10th from Moon, we remember. It was in 2nd from Mercury, so not problematic to get the job, right? Because even if he has the Saturn 12, but this is the Lagna Lord, so he's controlling that situation, so there is no problem. But 2nd from the Mercury is that Sun, so he is having a big problem from government, right? This was the Nazi regime in Germany, and he had to escape. So 2nd from Mercury was the Sun. So if you have problematic planetary positions after Mercury, so in 2nd or 5th from Mercury, then it means that you don't have problems in getting a job, but maintaining the job may be problematic. Therefore, you may, for example, change, or you may have many jobs in life because of this position. The last thing is making you aware about the danger of the 9th house afflicted. This is mainly giving two things. Often people who have problems to get a job and problems generally with the career life may have 9th house afflicted because it shows specialization. So if 9th house is afflicted, the person has problem with specialization. And also 9th house problems are showing the fortune or external issues in our life. For example, there were many businesses, many ventures which were closed because of the corona. And in those charts, 9th house and 9th lord were afflicted. So this is showing that there is some external situation like a pandemic or maybe war or maybe sometimes the stock changes, right? There are big breaks in the stocks or with the speculation and in the market also, right? In 2008, the biggest one. And then this is something external to you, to your efforts. It's just like bad fortune. Therefore, it's also controlled by the 9th house. So we would say this is the basic tool. There is, of course, much more. We can set the prices, the colors, the names, the name and ascendance of the competition. We can say the target group. We can choose the countries, the continents, which are the best for us. So there are much more advanced rules to use Vedic astrology to get best from our life. But I hope this will give you a good start in analyzing your chart. So that's gonna be it from me. I hope you find this interesting and informative. If you do, please don't forget to click the thumbs up. It really helps me with this algorithm. And also subscribe with the bell notification on if you would like to be notified about similar videos in the future. If you'd like to get your own consultation, if you'd like me to help you in analyzing your chart, the Rashi, Navamsha, Dashamsa, and also the health, relationship, and career life, then just hit me up in the email below and we can schedule the consultation for you. Okay, thanks for being here with me on this channel and watching till the end, and see you in the next one.